My name is Andrew Lees and I run the history department at St Anselm's Catholic School. The challenges are that people don't read so much as anymore. They like their information bite-sized, gobbet size, and reading requires an awful lot of self-sacrifice and learning, but the only way you will improve your reading is by reading.
My name is David Thompson. I'm the head of geography at St Anselm's. We use Bedrock basically to help the kids learn key words, also to see how those words can be used in sentences, not only the spelling of those words, but also the meaning of the words and how they can be contextualized correctly in a sentence. So it increases not only their vocabulary, but their understanding of that vocabulary and how to use it and how to write, for instance, successful 6 or 9 mark essay questions.
A key challenge in history is taking a word and unlocking the concept behind it for the understanding, for children to be able to understand what that word means. Today, for example, I ask students, what does a castle mean? And they go, I know what it is, but what does it mean? And so it's breaking down words to open up other areas of understanding.
When we study climate change, one of the key concepts is the idea of mitigation and adaptation. Students don't really understand what the word mitigation means, and basically by going over the word they understand that the word means to lessen, because when they have to write an extended piece of writing using that word, it means that they can engage more with the content and they can understand how to use the word correctly in a longer written response.
Obviously, we are dealing with some quite complex Tier 3 words. For example, the A-level class, we have to get used to concepts such as communism, capitalism, even the great nomenclature system that the Soviet Union put in place to perpetuate the needs of the party. And therefore, this language is new and it's heavily politicized, and it does require an awful lot of cultural capital. To understand these words, you need to be honest with you, watching Channel 4 News or Newsnight, and certainly reading one of the broadsheet newspapers in order to engage with this kind of language.
A few months ago, it was fantastic to watch them really come alive with keywords around healthcare and sanitation in the Industrial Revolution, words that our GCSE students struggle with. For them to come in and actually tell us more than our GCSE students knew. And it was even nicer when we had a member of senior leadership from another school come and visit, and they couldn't believe that our Year 8s knew that. Again, they were struggling with their GCSE and our Year 8s just flown with it. They flew through the topic and they smashed it.
Sometimes the teachers set the homework before the lessons, so sometimes you can do it earlier so that it prepares you for what the lesson's about. Like in my history lesson, I learnt about the Black Death, and I already knew facts about it from Bedrock. Then I went into the lesson and I already knew it from doing it earlier.
Also helps us in the sense that with, let's take Year 7, for example, when we're introducing concepts such as civil war, roundheads, cavaliers, democracy, limited democracy, and even the concept of the idea of a world turned upside down. But the very fact that they are reading texts and coming across these words means that our job is made that much more simpler, in that albeit a small extent, they still have had some exposure to this complex Tier 3 language.
We use Bedrock now as a great pre-learning tool. The mapper words are fantastic. So we haven't stopped using keywords, we've continued to use them, but now they're embedded and students are able to see that word and they already know about it. They already feel comfortable with it. They walk into a lesson and tell you what they already know.
We primarily set Bedrock for homework tasks. So basically each student is given a set of keywords that are tasks to do for Bedrock. It normally takes them 15 to 20 minutes to complete, and each cycle or each term, if you will, they have to learn those keywords, and those keywords will come up in the end of unit assessment.
It's very much tying in when we got to choose our words per cycle. Cycle is 9 weeks of work that we set, that the words that were available, Tier 3 words, mirrored what we were actually studying. That made our job a lot easier. We didn't have to go out and trawl for these words, and you gave us a significant opportunity. And we therefore were in a position where we can actually cherry pick what we thought were the 5 or so best words that met the needs of the students for that particular type and style of work.
Those students that are partaking in Bedrock, their self-confidence has gone through the roof because they feel much more attuned to what they're learning in the lesson rather than being taught at, they're learning with you.
It's impressive, not least because I think as amongst the colleagues have taken it on board, they are setting Bedrock homework, and I believe that with the feedback we have in terms of monitoring student activity, history came out as one of the subjects where the exposure of the programme was taken up a significant level by the students doing it. So it is working.
I've seen improved end-of-cycle data within Key Stage 3. Anecdotally, I've heard some fantastic stories of students putting words into their extended writing answers, and in fact one teacher has taken it to a Year 11 class to say, look at this as a Year 8 child, and they're writing sort of grade 7, grade 8 quality of work having been on the Bedrock programme.
It certainly helps us stick to the curriculum and provides a focus so that our curriculum content is sharper and more precise in terms of addressing these key concepts.
I feel good being invested in Bedrock Learning. The kids like it, the kids enjoy it, they can access it, they can see progress that they're making, they can see the impact it has on the progress they make within their subject areas, and the staff equally can see the progress that the students are making. So it's a win-win.